Tonight on Murder We Spoke, we discuss
Black cats and cauldrons.
and busybodies and broom noses. All that and super special guest Carolyn Paine, all on today's Murder We Spoke. Welcome back to Murder We Spoke. We are new converts to the Church of Murder She Wrote, and I am still workshopping that opening. I'm still not happy with it. Anyway, on this podcast, our goal is to watch and discuss only the best of the best episodes, and we're doing so based on your recommendations. So on the first Friday of every month, we meet to break down a brand new to us episode and talk all things J.B. Fletch. I'm Ben, and I'm joined as always by my co-host Marissa.
Hello, Ben.
Hi, Marissa. How's it going?
Pretty great.
And today we are joined by a special guest. She is a dancer, an actress, a comedian, an all-around multi-hyphenate, Carolyn Paine.
Yay! I love that word.
That's
the word of the day.
That's the only appropriate word.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Caroline contacted us via email and was like, I love Murder, She Wrote. So
we're like automatically best friends because
like,
anyone who loves Murder, She Wrote, obviously, obsessed with.
Yeah, I discovered the show. So a couple summers ago, a friend of mine, we were at like a beachfront restaurant, and the wind changed and an umbrella like came up and hit her on the head at the restaurant. So she had a concussion and like couldn't go to sleep that night. And so we were like going through Netflix and trying to find something to like just kind of like watch to like keep us up. So she was like, let's watch Murder, She Wrote. And she was kind of kidding, but I was like, no, this is happening now. And the first episode that we didn't even start from the beginning. We just picked something random. And the first episode we picked was one that had like Courtney Cox and took place at a circus, and there was like, and so we were just like,
yes.
Oh. So we ended up watching like I think like 9 Murder, She Wrote episodes that night. Yeah. So
that sounds like the ideal
like
night.
A kid with my mom, but I just remember thinking like it was lame. Like I was like 7. So
right.
Exactly. That's what. Yeah.
It wasn't Rainbow Bright. It wasn't Gem.
That's the thing, yeah. Like J.B. Fletch, like as from a 7-year-old's perspective, like she has nothing on Gem, so.
Yeah, but from an adult perspective, you're just like it's scary, like how much I want to be her, like even for glasses, which like back then I was like, God, I don't want to wear those, but now I'm like, where can I get those?
Honestly, every outfit she wears, I'm like, yep, that chunky sweater, that statement necklace. The episode we just watched with her glasses in the library, I was like, killing it. Where can I find this? And I know style comes back, but like her style's extra.
It came back hard because if like the wardrobe dude like saved any of this, you could make a mint, like because those out.
She probably still wears it. She's probably that same size, just killing it, looking good always.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like she does just wear those sweaters around. I mean, who wouldn't? This episode that we watched for this, actually, there's a really good sweater that she's rocking.
Even Seth is wearing. There's like a blue sweater that I don't even know, but I pointed out to my boyfriend. I was like, I want that sweater. Even Seth. So if Seth is wearing a cute outfit, it's special.
I was distracted by Seth's haircut. I don't like that close crop haircut, and it was so uneven in this episode too. I was like, Seth.
Really? See, I thought it was a good choice for him because, like, in some of the earlier ones, he has like this like center part, and it's like,
it's so old school. I love this. It's like, is it 1825? No, but keep doing what you're doing.
Have you ever like Googled what that actor looked like when he was young?
Oh, he was like debonair.
Right now.
I'm gonna
do it on the spot. But is it bad I haven't realized any difference with any of his haircuts? I feel like I'm just focused on the ladies' outfits. I'm like, Seth has white.
I feel like he wears a lot of hats, and not meaning like he has a lot of jobs, which I'm sure he also does, but he literally wears a lot of hats.
Yeah.
Like those old man almost like Sherlocky kind of things, and like a Kangol, like before they were Kangles, whatever they're called. I feel like he was rocking a lot of hats.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm
probably
looking
constantly cover up whatever sort of awkward haircut he'd gotten. But I mean, it's Cabot Cove, so it makes sense. Like that, the Loretta's beauty parlor that all the women go to. They're not coming out with anything good from there.
Oh no. I feel like Loretta has like a stock of like 4.5 hairstyles, and she's just like, it's like the thing on the wall. Point to the one you want, and you'll get it.
It's like North Korea.
Yeah, you want something special? Okay, no.
Sorry, you have to go to the big city for that one.
Yeah, she just pretty much knows how to do perms, like poodle perms.
Poodle perms, like, do you want your head to be a giant poof? Gotcha. We got you covered.
Perfect. Exactly.
Frosted tips.
Yeah, we'll curl your hair and then brush it out, and that's the look we're going for. Seth is a cutie. Also, it just made me really sad though because I realize he's dead, and I just live in like Neverland. I'm like, they're all alive. They're all still kicking it. Like
everybody's fine. We're all okay.
Exactly. It's forever Cabot Cove. That ideal.
I think Seth is no longer with us. Sheriff Tupper is no longer with us.
No, don't tell me anyone else who's dead.
But I only say that because.
But Metzger is still alive.
Yeah, Metzger's still alive. Eve, our good friend Eve Simpson, I'm pretty sure
is still alive.
Yeah.
The day that sweet baby angel passes, I'm going to take a day off work.
No, it's never going to happen.
Recently, I was, like Facebook now changed their schematics so that you look to the side where it used to be like news stories, and they'd kind of give you like a couple sentences that told you what the news story was. So now they've changed it to just like 2 words. So you'll just like look to the side and it'll be like debate or, like a name. So the day shortly after they changed that, I like woke up and I was scrolling through my Facebook and it said like, and it said Angela Lansbury, and I literally, like, my heart stopped. I assumed that it meant that she had died.
Yeah.
She's 90. I mean,
yes. Of course, it just meant that she had, sang the Beauty and the Beast song.
Which, brought me to tears. I started watching it, and I had to stop because I was so overwhelmed by her perfection. I was like, she's 90. She goes out there, that little smile, perfect tone. Doing the little mannerisms of Mrs.
I feel like
Potts.
I kind of want Angela Lansbury to sing me to sleep every night. I feel like it would help soothe me and take me to a happy place.
Absolutely.
That would be perfect. Like a bottle of wine and a nice little Angela Lansbury. You're going to sleep like a baby.
That'd be amazing. Well, new goal for my insomnia.
Is there not like a CD or something where it's just all Angela Lansbury, like every song she's ever sang? Like that's got to be a thing.
It has to be.
I guess there's like the rights. She's got a lot of rights that she's got to get through, but
yeah, but still. Yeah.
I mean, I would listen to her like sing anything. I mean, it literally could be anything.
Some Boys in the Hood or something.
Get
it, Lance?
I hate some Broadway, but I've even gone back and listened to like some of the old Broadway stuff, like Mame and I can't remember that. But I was like, because I do not care for like a Broadway show tune to save my life, and I feel bad about it. I wish I should. I know it's cultured and whatever, but I was like, can't do it. But hers, I've gone back and it's like, no, she's actually great, especially
like
after
that she does with Dorothy Zbornak. Well, whatever, B. Arthur. There's like an Angela Lansbury B. Arthur duet.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know what musical it's from, but I've actually seen drag queens do it and do it pretty well.
That's amazing.
Not surprisingly, that sounds like the perfect thing for drag queens to do.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, guys. What we're talking about today is Season 8, Episode 12, entitled The Witch's Curse.
Such a solid episode, also.
It's like, let's see, it aired January 12th, 1992, and it was recommended, we let our guest pick this one, and it did not disappoint.
Oh, that was amazing. I didn't realize you picked it. So good.
You're so welcome.
I was telling, what's the name of it?
Witch's Curse?
Oh, okay, so I kept telling Steven, my boyfriend, I was like, oh, can you find it on there? And I was like, it's called Witch's Brew. And he's like, there's no Witch's Brew. There's a Witch's Curse. I'm like, probably the same thing.
I'm going to watch this one and we'll just see what happens.
It would be really interesting. Exactly. I was like, this will be really interesting if it's not the same one. But, okay.
Yeah, it all worked out.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I mean, this one has, like, everything. It has, like... first of all, I love the episodes that take place in Cabot Cove just because they always deal with, like, crazy sex scandals that should not be happening in a small town in Maine.
Exactly. Oh, no. And they have all our like main characters
Right. Anything with Eve Simpson is clutch because she is your like, great
she's just the best.
Yeah, your little town she's kind of like the little town tart there. And and then this episode just has like that element of like, oh my God, is there something supernatural going on? I love when
I love that. And
yeah,
because the townspeople are so ready to believe that there is a reincarnated witch amongst them. Like,
for the second time. There's another episode.
Is there another?
No.
Of course there's. That's hilarious.
There's another episode where they think this like pilgrim woman has like come back from the dead. Like Seth is even convinced because he sees her, and they find like pottery, like little scraps of pottery that they think are from like the pilgrim times, and they think that this pilgrim is back.
That is amazing.
That's very, because he was, Seth gave in pretty quick on this one too. He's like, well, when she said that line, the lightning, lightning went off. So is it a coincidence? It's like, no, that is the very definition of coincidence. Yeah, it
wind. Is. Remember, he's like, I don't know, wind, maybe. It's like,
well, and then they like go to her house and she has like a cauldron.
The cauldron
and a black cat walking by.
Like she's wearing like that black lace like.
Yeah, it was like a shawl, like hanging off her, almost like a cape, like she was one of the X-Men or something.
Yeah.
Like it was
every outfit that they dress her in, like definitely she just looks like that crazy, like Witches of Eastwick woman that you wouldn't go near at all, or would be really cool, like 1990s goth fashion.
Exactly.
She's really kicking off that goth look.
Yeah,
she's really,
I'm all about the all
trailblazing it. Yeah.
Single-handedly kicked off the goth fashion movement from this episode. I feel like one chick saw this and was like, you know what?
Honestly, she's got a good look going for her. Mm-hmm. I loved it. I'm all for all black.
So, I like the opening of this episode because it was like a montagey thing of like old-timey drawings and
like the old court. And like recordings almost,
just
and like
chanting "Burn Witch Burn" for 2 minutes,
and the cartoon, like the drawings and stuff. Yeah. I was like, okay, little history lesson.
Very hocus pocus,
Totally hocus pocus.
It's the same setup, pretty much. You're ready to go right from the beginning.
You're like, yeah, I'm ready to deal with some witches and some burning fiery cauldrons. I'm ready for it.
Yes.
Some black cats.
And then it segues into the fact that they're doing a community theater production in Cabot Cove.
And not only that, it's like, who participates in community theater? So it's normally like younger kids. It's just, obviously there's no one else in Cabot Cove.
I was going to say, like, people. Are there kids in Cabot Cove?
Probably not.
The fact that Eve Simpson is like being considered to play the young lead.
Exactly. Which,
like. That is probably my favorite moment of this whole episode is when the actress's name is Marion Mercer.
The blonde.
Who played Penelope. She's like, because Seth, like, someone auditions for the young woman role. Was her name Rachel?
Rachel.
Auditions for Rachel, and Seth's like, oh, is there anybody else? And this woman Penelope stands up. She's like, oh, I want to give it a crack. And he's like
just trying to give it a try.
He's like, you know what? Kind of had in mind for you to be the mom.
Like more distinguished.
More distinguished. So yeah, just go and have a seat. But we do still want to audition Eve. And he like points her out like, Eve, who is, and I looked it up, 10 years older. We want you to play this woman. Like, because I was like, yeah, Eve is bare minimum 10 years older than this woman.
And like, I felt so bad for her. It's like he's like shaming her on her age. It's like, Seth, just let her read the role and say she's not working out for it.
Exactly.
Seth is
like,
such an asshole sometimes.
Instead of just being like, yeah, we want you to play the mom, and then pivoting immediately to this woman who's 10 years older than you, we're going to ask her to give it a go.
She's the town tart, and like she is like the sex symbol for this town. Like
she really is.
Oh, that's what it was.
Where, like that episode where the gym guy, the guy who has the gym,
yes,
and like
our
he
buddy
was
Wayne.
getting like multiple men to have sex with her. Like I can't get multiple men to want to have sex with me. And so clearly I should be in Cabot Cove because it makes it work.
Girl, we'd be killing it in Cabot Cove. No, but I think was it even Sundays for Beverly? Wasn't Eve a part of that one too?
Yes.
Oh yeah. That's,
everything.
I mean, you know what? I think that's actually right. Like, Seth was like, you know what? We need someone with the life experiences who can embody, like, someone who would be put on trial for being, like, a sexed up witch. Because the part of this thing with the witch was that she was...
sleeping with the other girls.
Like, yeah, she enchanted this man who...
I loved it when she's like, oh, if he calls out another woman... Or she's like, oh, he called out her name in his sleep. I'm like, oh, my God.
So this was really just kind of like old school slut shaming for Eve.
Yeah.
That's basically what this was.
But
I
also-
didn't even realize that. Okay.
Yeah.
But Eve is,
Cool.
saved from being slut shamed in this episode by this like super dramatic arrival of that witch.
Oh,
Who can I just discuss how her profile was like the most perfect profile I've ever seen. I'm like, how does she have the cutest little button nose? The cutest thing, like, I mean, she's really pretty, but then she turned to the side, and I was like, whoa.
And
like,
she-
I stopped the TV. I'm like, Steven, look at her profile. It's beautiful.
look at this woman.
Is she from LA? Like, where is that?
Well,
where work did she
I
have
was
done?
watching this and thinking how I would not want to be an attractive outsider who arrives in Cabot Cove because you're obviously going to end up dead.
Yeah.
You're going to end up dead or accused of murdering someone who does end up dead.
Right.
This does
Yeah.
not end well for you.
No, like that episode where like the mayor, have you seen that one yet? Where the mayor, like that redhead woman shows up and says that she's like that she's the mayor's secret wife.
No, but that sounds like every Cabot, like there's a sneaky redhead in every episode. Wait, that does sound.
And as
We
the
saw the one-
redhead,
yeah,
as
where the-
the redhead, I have noticed that.
Yes.
That Murder, She Wrote really likes to cast
All the red herrings are. I mean, they did straight far. They're redheads.
That's the thing. Yeah, if you see a redhead, like, she's involved. Maybe she didn't do the killing, but she was.
She's like a family member. They just love it, and also
She assisted the killing. Like, yeah, she
I
was
don't
in
know
on
that
it
many
somehow.
redheads, but in Cabot Cove, they're everywhere.
Well, as a native New Englander, we are.
Yes. Okay.
So
I'm
I
just in
grew
the
up
wrong area.
I grew up in Boston, and I feel like, it's kind of commonplace there. But definitely, you probably don't venture to Cabot Cove, like I said, because you are just going to end up being a
Blamed.
victim or
Exactly.
or actually be the murderer. But I do notice that there are a ton of redheads in Murder, She Wrote episodes, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. No.
And JB even says to this woman, she's like, New Englanders are famous for taking a while to warm up to me, but she's like, I lived here for 10 years and they still called me the new girl in town.
This I wrote in my fucking notes. I said, who would dare ask Jessica if she is new in town? Like, this is season 8. She is an established author. She solves all the crimes in the city. She walks everywhere. Her picture's everywhere. Who would ask her if she's new? That's just, ugh.
So, yeah, I don't know where she's from originally in this show, but
Right.
did her and Frank move there, or did she move there after Frank died? I don't know.
Are New Englanders hard to warm up to?
I don't know. I mean, maybe more so. But I think like New Yorkers are hard to warm up to.
Yeah.
I feel like
I
there's
think it's-
assholes everywhere.
I just feel
I
like
think-
it's a small town mentality. Like, you
Right.
just don't.
I think it's more just the fact that Cabot Cove has like 200 residents, and they're all like secretly fucking each other and plotting to kill each other. Apparently,
and all
So-
old.
yeah.
They're all retirees who have really nothing better to do anyway.
Maybe the people who don't know Jessica just have dementia. And they're just like, are you new? Are you
probably-
new?
that's
And then it's
probably
like,
right,
oh, yeah, no.
That sounds
Yeah.
that sounds right. I think that pans out.
But the Winthrop characters, like that, speaking of like some of the Cabot Cove's elderly residents, the Winthrops totally look, as somebody who came from New England, they look like people that my parents were friends with or like went to church with, and I was always like, oh. So
That's amazing.
I swear to God, like I know people who look like that. I grew up with like knowing a couple that looked exactly like that.
They were, I thought they were so perfectly paired. I even wrote like my next note that I was going to go to was their matching sweater vest and button-up shirt combo. Like, he's sitting in the wheelchair and she's standing behind him, like, with one hand on the shoulder, like they're about to get their portrait painted.
Also, she had, like, the harshest, like, brow. She always looks so angry, and I know she was, based off what was going on.
She just had like, a harsh, scary face.
A scary face. I was like, the fact that she's playing the girl accusing the witch, of course, done.
I want to watch the movie where she actually plays that part, because she didn't even have to change her hair. Is she in the
Scarlet Letter? She might be.
She was, and I looked her up. Her face looked super familiar to me.
Because it looked like a mean pilgrim.
Maybe that's what it was. I was like, I know I've seen this woman in multiple things. And I looked it up, and it's like, she was on an episode of Frasier, but that is literally all I know her from. I'm like, is that right? Because she is so familiar to me.
I wonder who. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just
that's
that
how I felt about her, but I just decided that it was because she looked like, people I knew, like just people knew but didn't want to know.
With that face, I understand why. Jeez, it's scary.
Yeah. But the actress, her name is Marion Seldes.
Mary, of course.
Just
okay.
Yeah.
Just FYI, just in case you were wondering.
In case I want to look her up on Frasier.
Yeah, in case you want to look up her episode of Frasier, it's in the later seasons. Don't worry about it. Okay. Let's see.
The other thing with her, like her like Sears jewelry that they keep in a safe in a
my
shelf.
God.
Like
that was great.
I can't. And yeah, also.
I mean, I realize that that's like the critical plot point, but like all I was fixing the boxes that the jewelry that was supposed to be like so nice and that she's like keeping safe in this secret shelf thing.
Right.
Yeah, and
it's
it's
like
been handed down.
21.
And it's been handed down for generations in a
Right,
cardboard box.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
It's, like, chunky bracelet that has like fake crystal looking diamonds on it, and the boxes literally look like those boxes that you got jewelry in from Sears.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. But
which maybe in Cabot Cove is nice. Maybe that is like.
Oh, that is that's where you go to get the fancy stuff. It's like in the old country, the Sears. That's where all the people in the old country got their jewelry.
All the diamonds.
I like that in this episode they talk about Eve. Eve rented out the old Walker place, and they said like, "Oh, who would want to rent that? That place is run down, terrible." And it's like, we just watched another episode where she was renting out like an old farm.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, who would want to buy that? It's like, does she just like buy all the shit heaps in Cabot Cove and just sell them to outsiders who turn out to be murderers?
Eve is a slumlord.
Yeah.
Basically.
Slumlord.
Slutty slumlord.
She is
that
the
would be, that should be on
sexiest
her
slumlord you've ever seen. Eve Bloodrose Simpson, as we've nicknamed her.
Yep, love her, dude. She's killing it.
Let's see. I have Jessica. I have nothing really to say, but Jessica has breakfast with Mort and Seth. Oh, that was nice.
I love that like Jessica and Seth seem to eat like every meal together.
They're both like, they're both, one's a widow, one's a widower. Like,
Ben
said
and he's like the gay best friend at this point.
Yeah, you do get the vibe that he is definitely like her gay best friend, and it's super cute.
It's adorable.
They keep each other company. He knows not to try anything with her, and it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they just, play chess and sip out of her blue willow teacups and
cook for each other and just hang out.
Mm-hmm.
Solve crimes.
Yeah.
The usual.
Yeah, everyone needs a Seth Metzger in their life.
That's so true.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. This is when Seth is like, it was a little coincidental that she did the thing, and then the witch goes the witch. I'll just call her the witch, I guess.
Yeah, the witch.
I can't remember her name. Rachel was the name of the
Mariah.
Mariah Osborne.
No one was named Mariah. I feel like that's weird to be named Mariah in 1992. By the way.
That's true. When they said Osborne, I was like, of course, it's like an Oz. I don't even know if that was around in '92, but I was like, it would be an Osborne. Like trying to add a little more.
So she goes to give the shawl back that she took during the rehearsal.
Mm-hmm.
Right. To get more in character, right?
Because she needed to get more in character, during her audition.
Okay.
She's very method, and I respect that. I appreciate it. And she goes in and like kind of puts the moves on.
Dude, I was screaming at my TV. She just touched dirt. Like I would never touch a foot. Like,
no.
Maybe someone's, like, Steven's foot, okay. But, like, a stranger in a sweaty cast in a wheelchair you don't know, like, let me just rub your feet.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
gross,
that was the part where, for, like, that hot second, even though like, this show this isn't, like, Charmed, this isn't Buffy, there's not going to be a real witch, but, like, for that hot second, you're like, oh, there's some magical healing powers she's going to do.
Yeah, I thought she was going to, I was like, watch, she's going to be able to walk right away. Which he was, but not because of her foot. Yeah.
Because I kept waiting for that. I was like, because then she saw him walk, and we're like, ooh, what's going on? And JB later on
saw him, and he was so nervous, like standing.
And no one, I was like,
did anything ever come of that?
No, I was gonna say, like, is anybody gonna like? This wheelchair is like a. I was like, oh, it's a red herring.
I was convinced he was going to be the killer, and that
that's exactly what I thought.
Flight was all a phony thing to hide the fact that he, was not actually injured. Because it didn't seem really like, every time somebody asked him how he got injured, it just seemed really like a weak story. Like, he's like, oh, haha, I fell down the stairs.
And he yelled at his wife for, like, putting the varnish on the stairs or whatever.
They asked it, like, 3 separate times, and even Jessica was like, so how did you do that again? And I was like, there it is, she's nailing it. Exactly. She comes back into the room, sees him standing up, and still doesn't say anything, and nothing came of it. I was just so confused. I needed an ending.
That's the thing I was waiting for. It's like, oh, we think he's stuck in the chair. But no, it turns out because no one called him on it. Like when they saw him, like Jess didn't be like, "Hey,
oh, I see your foot's feeling better."
Feeling better?
Yeah,
well,
that was
that's
confusing.
The thing with that hooked me with Murder She Wrote is that you never know who the killer is.
Oh, I'm wretched at picking.
It's like, you know, when you watch like Law and Order, like you watch an order of Law and Order SVU, and you know, like 2 seconds in, you're like, that guy is obviously a rapist.
Yeah.
But like with Murder She Wrote, I just kind of never know. I'm always like, oh my god.
My guess for this one, I was wrong, but I guess the blonde woman who was told no, because I was like, okay, she's trying to like set something up because she was embarrassed and didn't get the role she wanted or something.
Yeah. I guess the real estate the insurance guy.
The insurance guy seems super shady.
Exactly,
because he so is shady.
Because Jessica was questioning him hard, and every time she asked him a question, he's like, basically like, "What's it your business, bitch?
Yeah,
like, what do you like?
And what about
get
that?
Off my jock!"
He wrapped up the tower where the judge is killed, and he
Yeah.
creeps up behind Jessica, and you know, like he just had this super creep vibe, and I didn't.
And
I thought it was going to be him.
Yeah, and he was like, oh, someone couldn't have just like, I don't know. He was trying to come up with excuses why someone.
And I feel
which I guess makes sense because he doesn't want to pay the insurance. They don't want to pay out.
Right.
That if the judge committed suicide, he wouldn't have to pay.
Because and also I feel like the list of suspects in this episode was especially short.
Yeah.
Because you had like it was a lot of Seth and Mort and Eve. It's like obviously it's none of them. And then the blonde woman, for whatever reason I didn't even consider her.
The only reason I thought about it was she was there and saw and heard that rose petal thing, and which was a fucking bitches. I love that Mariah left a calling card everywhere she went.
Oh, for sure.
Like that is some evil shit. I love it. But then it was when the house burned down. I think the house, and then the blonde woman came up and said, "Oh, there's 3 things." Or what did she say? She's like, "Oh, there's more trouble where this came from."
And like everybody kept using the word combustible. It's like even when Mariah like put that stuff, Jess is like, "Oh, that's combustible. Don't store that somewhere."
That. And the next scene is just flames. Like Jessica's
with
like,
a fucking pentagram.
With a pentagram, and then and then the fireman like, how perfect was it? Like the fireman like he's out there cleaning his fire truck. And he's got a Dalmatian sitting on the fire truck.
I know.
When Jessica goes to talk to him, I was like, "That's of course."
That's Cabot Cove.
But even he's like, his first question to the insurance dude is like, "Did you keep any combustibles in there?" I'm like, no one has used the word combustibles this much ever.
It's like, is there anything flammable in there? Combustible?
Or is it like, what did you keep in there? Because like, it's like, no, paper.
Meth lab?
I kept paper.
Yeah, no.
It's like, he's like, even that whole thing was weird too, because he's like, oh, these are the papers. The old insurance, it's too much to keep there, so I keep it
in the shed.
In a shed by my house, but it's still under company lock and key, so like it's like they're not going to pay for.
That sounds so business not official.
No,
no. The least official business is a shed in your backyard at Cabot Cove. Like,
and Jess is like, "Can you go look in there?" He's like, "I don't know if that might go against policy." I'm like, "It's in your backyard in a shed. I don't like what policy are we disrupting?"
Also, I put in my notes, guys are so easy to manipulate because this girl just like bats a fucking eyelash to every guy she wants.
But they don't get to see this kind of woman a lot.
I know, but it's like, I feel like guys are so that easy to manipulate. It's just like, oh, like,
I mean,
I really want this, and they're like, well, okay.
Like, Eve Simpson is like the pinnacle in this town. So when someone like Mariah shows up, like, it's like, again, their minds explode. Like, not since, like, only on the TV do they see this.
I'm just like, oh my god, give me a break. These guys are so pathetic. And it's like, well, maybe if we go out for a drink or something. I'm like,
it was so like, they were like,
dude, she is not into you. You are an old man.
No, this is like that Fox
so
News.
Gross.
Like, that's like the epitome. Well, it's like so 2016 now, but I'm like, that's the epitome of sexual harassment. It's like, oh, can you help me with this? And it's like, oh, only if I could take you out to dinner and buy you a drink. It's like, fuck no. Just do your fucking job. Give me files.
It was so gross. And like her interactions with the judge were especially.
Ooh, yeah.
I was like, when he died, I was like, you kind of had this coming, bro. You're
like,
gross.
Like licking his lips or going up the tower. Like, where are you? It's like,
he's
fuck,
like,
get
Rachel.
away, dude.
It's like, ugh.
Dude, you need to be home. Like, I don't know.
You know, most of the deaths in Murder, She Wrote, I find really plausible, you know? Like, it's like a plausible way to kill someone or an interesting way. But this just seemed impossible. To me, I felt like there was no way that a small woman could knock that giant judge man out of a window with enough force. Like, yeah, maybe he'd get out the window, but he'd just land on the roof. He wouldn't, like, get all the way down.
Exactly. I mean, we watch Pretty Little Liars, and how many people have died in, like, lighthouses, like towers. Everyone dies in towers. So for me, I'm like, fuck, another tower death. But it's like, yeah, no, he would have just fallen onto the thing, maybe rolled a little bit and been like, okay, bitch, like, what now? Like, he would not have fallen over. And even if he did, he probably wouldn't, because he landed on the second roof, he probably wouldn't die. He'd probably, like, be paralyzed.
He would have been able to catch himself. Yeah, I feel like this was like one of the more violent deaths we've seen on the show, because you didn't we weren't like in the perspective of in the tower and we saw him tumble out. Like, we were outside, saw him burst through that window.
And saw the blood from the mouth.
And and saw like an actual stuntman topple down that thing and then fall off. Like, it was a really...
This is definitely much more like gory and shocking than other deaths, because normally you don't
necessarily
see the murder. You just you're privy to the discovery of the body. But here we saw like this very graphic death with the blood and everything. And
exactly.
I just love that his last image would have been that terrifying Puritan-looking woman in a black outfit.
Yes. I didn't even think of that. Oh my god.
And then and like you were saying, is like even JB's like, whoever this was, like, must have been like another reason I thought it was insurance dude, because I'm like, well, it must have been someone like with some heft and some strength to it, because to be able to get that up. And he's like, and the insurance dude was like, yeah, someone could have gotten a running start. And she's like, well,
from where?
Really no room. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's like, well, there's really no room to get a running start. So it's like, okay, so in my mind, I'm like, okay, JB just narrowed it down. It was a dude. So it's either fake wheelchair guy or insurance guy.
Yeah.
Nope, it's old lady. It's old lady with the shoulders of a linebacker.
The old lady had like very sharp cheekbones. Like, she could have knocked him over with that, maybe. Like, she wasn't frail.
No, I guess apparently not. By no means was she frail. Like, she probably broke it. That
diamond on her finger, so that probably extra weight to push him with, as that comes into play later in the episode. I guess
he probably has like osteoporosis. He probably has bird bones. I mean,
who knows?
Guys are weak.
He probably was drinking to prepare for his like big meeting. You know, he was probably nervous about meeting up with the hockey and had like a couple glasses of bourbon and then.
Yeah, because he was worried about like performance issues, so he wanted to get a little loosey goosey. No, he just needed to be like level headed. He's like, he probably was a little worried about that.
Okay, I get you, Judge. Sayonara.
I get you, Judge. And who was it? I wrote down a quote that just says, busybodies and broom noses. Who said that?
I don't know, but I also wrote, love the gossip in Cabot Cove. Oh.
Yeah, gossip mill. Oh my god.
Yeah, because I think he's like, oh, I heard so-and-so. He's like, well, no, I heard it from Ben, who heard it from, like, I don't know.
And it's the cop saying it. It's the cop who's, like, accepting all this gossip as, like,
that's who it was. Yeah, it was totally Mort who said it, yeah.
And then she said, Jessica's like, oh, well, Loretta's beautiful. I don't know, made a comment like, yeah, you can't trust gossip, cop.
Exactly, yeah, because the deputy was even saying it, like, oh, yeah, it was a game of telephone. It's like, yeah, I heard she was, like, hovering above her porch, like, sacrificing ghosts. It's like, who said that? Like, well, my wife talked to someone at Loretta. Like, yeah, it was...
Yeah, and then I also wrote...
And P.S., they're going to go make an arrest based on this information. Just FYI, they're totally going to arrest somebody based on this circumstantial evidence.
Yeah. Well, they also, when we were speaking of cops, I like that when they went and saw the jewelry that was stolen, they're doing fingerprints. He's like, oh, also bag those rose petals. And I was like, you never hear a cop actually giving sound advice in this show. So I was like, whoa, like asking to bag more evidence? Like, this is unheard of. I even made a note of it. So.
And they were even...
Metzger has it together. Like, he does.
I
strongly prefer him to Amos Tupper, who was definitely just
just OG derp.
Yeah.
Has that whole backstory that he used to be in New York and he was like a real cop and
exactly.
He at least like you feel Cabot Cove was a little bit safer once Metzger.
Oh, I completely agree. Because he even brought up like, oh, we're going to take this note that we found in the judge's thing and we're going to compare it to your handwriting. And he was even like, oh, we're going to get an expert to compare this. And it's like,
Yeah,
he was like,
where do you go in Cabot Cove to get a handwriting expert? I mean, do you have to like...
You go to JB Fletch's house is where you go.
Yeah.
Because she's just like, no, look at this and look at this. And she was
like, the horizontal on the Y is not as...
She's like, oh, did you not know I'm a handwriting expert? Wait 5 minutes because I'm also a diamond expert, just FYI.
Yeah, dude, I wrote...
I got to call her out for that. Like, what was her diamond knowledge? Like, how does she have that?
I was like, Jessica knows her diamonds! Exclamation point. I was like...
Was she... Yeah, was she in a library at some point? Like, that's where she goes to research, but
dude,
she knew,
just
like...
a wealth of knowledge.
The closest thing we have on TV to Jessica Fletcher as a character right now, and I know it's a reality show, so he's not really a character, is that guy from, the Pawn Stars.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Because he just knows everything. Like, people bring in stuff, and he's like, oh, well, this is, fake because it isn't aged the way it should be if it had been around in 1822. And he just is filled with all this crazy knowledge, which I'm sure some of it is scripted and they're giving him. But I feel like he is our equivalent of J.B. Fletcher as far as being an encyclopedia of crazy knowledge.
Yeah, it's like the like an Antiques Roadshow to...
Yeah.
Like, all those people, because all those people have, like, specific, like, oh, this guy knows rocking chairs from the 1800s.
Yeah.
And that's, like, his... Like, she's just all of those people from Antiques Roadshow all rolled into one.
Well, because she was going over the diamond, and at first she was saying, like, other stuff about it. I'm like, damn, she knows it. But then when she went into that cut wasn't until this. I was like...
They were unable to make that cut until the 1920s.
They didn't make that cut until 1920.
Yeah, I was like
yeah, and that,
okay, that was even deeper than I thought.
And the setting, I can tell, is old. The setting is definitely old. I know this, like, it's vintage, blah, blah, blah. But the stone couldn't have been, and it's like...
And that was after her just taking one look, like, oh... Nice ring.
And she's like, oh, that's a gorgeous...
Yeah, just...
Yeah.
Fucking, that's why she's my hero, because she's amazing at
that's
everything.
The thing, did she look at the ring and then go do the research? Or at that moment when she's like, oh, this bitch is the killer. I got her dead to rights.
I don't know, but can I also say, I just had to mention, while Jessica was talking to the couple, what was their name?
The Winthrops.
Winthrops.
Lydia and... Oh, what was his name? And Charles. Of course his name is Charles.
Yeah.
Lydia and Charles Winthrop.
So she's sitting there talking to them, and he's, like, building his fucking ship, and he's like, oh, Jessica, will you grab that glue stick? It's like, first of all, you have company over. Why are you building in front of her? Also, your wife is there. Why are you asking your guests to go get you a fucking glue stick? Also, you can fucking walk. Exactly. What is happening? I was just like,
it wasn't even that he asked her for it. He, like, made her put it on it, too.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, what? Who? Do you realize you're in the company of?
Yeah, well, he can't sail because of his legs, so he's got to let out his sailing.
Love of sailing by building a toy boat.
Exactly. He cannot be away from boats, real or toy form, for like more than a day and a half.
Yeah.
And then that's when JB set it up on the thing deliberately. I was like, and we saw him get up again. Yet another reason I'm like, okay, his walking is definitely going to play into this.
And then when Jessica saw him and like kind of gave a look, and he was so nervous, I was like, she's not mentioning it now.
I almost feel like it was like just a passive aggressive move. It's like, okay, shitbird.
Yeah.
Put it up on a tall shelf, and then you get up and get it yourself.
But I was like, yeah, that's definitely coming back. Like, even if she's not mentioning it now, she's going to use it later.
But that is what Murder, She Wrote does. They, like, set you up so you just have no... Like, I was 100% blindsided when it was Lydia the killer.
I did.
And it's just a bonus. Like I said, the fact that she did it in, like, a Halloween witch wig... That was just the bonus.
I know. And then it was like revenge because she fucking falsely accused
the plot on this one, I thought was...
It was deep.
It was intricate and it was beautiful in the way it tied into the play.
And it wasn't too intricate where
I was confused.
Yeah,
I was not confused.
And there was it was really well tied into the play because there was this nice like art imitating life thing, but it didn't go too far.
Exactly.
It didn't cross over to the point where it was just totally ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was like this one is falsely accused of something.
It's a good episode.
Yeah, and then just to go back, we also had the when they analyzed the wig, and then they went and then Jessica's like, okay, it definitely wasn't Mariah because this is a nylon wig, so it wasn't her, and Mort to his discredit, one of the few times he wasn't on point this episode, he's like, that doesn't mean anything. And Jess is like, why would a woman with long black hair wear a long black wig?
Right.
She was just like, Mort, bro,
Come on,
you're better
get
than
it
this.
together.
You're better than this.
Yeah.
Also, was it Monica who was arrested for stealing?
Mm-hmm.
Was the name Monica? What housekeeper gets arrested for 5 years for something missing? There's no proof. Nothing goes missing all the time. Then you get 5 years.
That's how scary Lydia was. That was the whole thing. They go into that the judge had been the prosecutor, and she was going to help him become a judge if he did this.
And did Charles then have
an affair?
He had the affair with her, but did he have the power to then make him a judge? Because I thought he was talking like, oh, he's the one who helped make him a judge. Am I making that up?
No, you probably not. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Charles and Lydia had some pull in the town.
Yeah, I think that's right. And so and Charles didn't even know that he had found out. Like, she just said like, oh, she stole from me, and then he like just totally took his wife's side and like, put the skids to poor Monica.
Yeah.
And push this through. Although, like, they had the prosecutor was on board, but like, how was the judge? Again, like, 5 years for a necklace
that you have no proof.
That you have no proof of, that you have zero, like, only circumstantial evidence of is...
Poor thing. That's evil. And then, also, wouldn't she... I know not everyone looks like their parents, but... I don't know. I feel like she'd be like, kind of look familiar, like this new chick in town.
Lydia was like immediately like, oh, I recognize her.
I felt like it's just because she was pretty.
Lydia said that because she said when she walked in and saw her like rubbing her husband's with the foot fetish thing.
Like that
triggered it to her.
That's true. I thought she was like thinking of the affair again, but
she was. I think that's part of it. Like she flashed back. She's like, okay, this is history repeating itself.
Dude, but Lydia was such like. Obviously, like, before we knew she was a killer, I loved how she handled it when she walked in and she saw the woman massaging her husband. She's, like, not even gonna scream. She's like, oh, like, I'm sure your foot's acting up again. Like, just, like, totally handling it, giving, like, dirty stares.
Just cold-hearted bitch, 100%.
Because if I walked in on that, I'd be like, oh, like, I would not be that calm. But I guess she's had practice. It's happened before.
Yeah, this is nothing new for her.
Her husband's such a piece of shit. Ugh, gross.
Yeah. And I love when she is, like, crying after, Jessica's all, like, j'accuse, and she was spot on, and she, bursts into tears and is, like, hugging her husband in the wheelchair, and he just, like, awkwardly, like, pats her hair.
He's like, come on, woman.
He pats her, like, helmet of hair, and is just like, oh, don't be cry, okay.
And then I was like, I had my notes that she fucking killed someone over... falsified charges and she committed arson. Like, if you had this much sway, if you're like, oh yeah, those charges were made up, it's the same judge and prosecutor. You could just be like,
and if
like,
you're...
what's the time frame of what is it? Statute of limitations for that. It's like, oh, let me murder someone, burn a building down because, I falsely accused my housekeeper.
And if you're willing to murder someone and commit arson, why don't you just burn that house down while that bitch is asleep?
Yeah.
Done.
Two birds with one stone.
I was totally convinced because of what happens in the Pilgrim episode where the people of Cabot Cove are convinced that a pilgrim has returned from the grave. And, now that they're convinced it's a witch, I thought it was going to have kind of the same fate. Like, I thought that the witch was going to end up dead and or be able to answer to her own not being a witch.
But luckily she didn't, and she was like, I stole the jewelry, I was just looking for the necklace, but I didn't kill anyone.
Pilgrim episode, but they burned that Pilgrim girl in a barn fire.
Oh, Jesus. That is too much.
That gets dark. Sometimes the show
gets dark. And Bill Maher is that how it's pronounced? Like the guy like from HBO or whatever.
Oh yeah, Bill Maher. Yeah.
Bill Maher. Yeah. He's on it as an actor.
Oh.
Like mullet and out. Like, people have sent pictures on Twitter, and it's like, full mullet. Bill Maher, circa like early 90s mullet and up.
I need to get this.
Yeah.
Let's see. I have in front of me the unofficial Murder, She Wrote casebook, and I just wanted to read like a little bit of trivia from this episode for it.
Yes, please.
For some reason, according to the book, Lewis Hertham already established as Deputy Andy Broom did a temporary name change in this episode to Deputy Dave Anderson, but in all other respects played the same part.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was interesting. Like, he's the same guy. He's been established, and they just gave him a different name for this episode.
I mean, that's typical Murder, She Wrote, I feel. Just
he has
like
two deputies throughout, right?
He's got the real derpy one.
He's like the ginger who
the tall ginger dude.
Ginger who just always looks like his mommy packed him a lunch and he doesn't know what he's doing there today.
Totally. Yeah. Oh, Charo, and he talks real slow.
Yeah, like some weird fake accent.
Like it's the worst Maine accent of
the worst, and that's a tall bar on this show, but he has the worst Maine accent.
Yeah.
Just like a couple more guest stars, Robert Vaughn, who played Charles Winthrop, is probably one of the most pedigree guest stars we've ever seen on the show. He was in Superman 3, so.
Oh wow!
Wow.
I have no idea who he is, but then
he played the bad guy in Superman 3 and in Basketball.
Oh, I love that movie now.
So maybe our friend Mike Schmidt met Robert Vaughn. Who knows?
Yeah.
And he was also in the original Magnificent Seven. So
that's legit.
That's pretty good too.
That's some legit credits. Yeah.
Yeah. I know those things. I've heard them.
You know those things. Yeah. Those are things I've heard.
I haven't seen them. I've heard them.
Ed Nelson, who played the judge, was on the show 5 times, playing 5 different roles, including the mayor in one episode.
There's only so many old white people to go around.
No, I love the recycling of guest stars. In fact, the actress who plays the witch is on a earlier episode.
Ooh.
Yeah, I can't remember what episode. It's something. It's not in Cabot Cove, but she plays like the wife of the guy who gets murdered, I think.
Yeah.
And she has short hair. Switch. You don't.
Twist. Who saw it coming?
Still in all black, but short hair.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And the last one I have, Marion Mercer, the blonde girl, who played Penelope, was Missy Hart in one of my favorite movies as a kid. Yes.
In what movie?
9 to 5 with Dolly Parton, Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda. She played Dabney Coleman's wife, who came home and found him all strapped to the thing.
As soon as I heard her voice in this episode, that's like all I could think of. I was like, oh my God, she's Missy from 9 to 5.
That's the thing. Like all I could hear was her saying Frank.
Yeah.
Because his name is Frank. Like that's all I could think of. I was like, that's Frank's wife. It's so perfect.
That's fantastic.
You need to see 9
I know.
to 5.
I'm like
so
the dumbest baby when it comes to
never
movies.
Seen 9 to 5?
No, there's like the list of movies I haven't seen.
We still haven't made you watch Point Break because someone on Facebook was like, "Has Marissa watched Point Break yet?" And I
forgot it. What is that even about? I don't forget now.
It's only one of the greatest masterpieces.
Okay.
Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm gonna stand in solidarity. I have not seen it either.
Okay. So. Well, we can watch it and touch base because the list is growing of things I have to see, and I'm always like, yeah, I guess I'll have to see that, but then I just go home and watch Murder, She Wrote and Real Housewives. So.
Well, you see, Murder, She Wrote kept me from watching, like 2 summers ago when I discovered it, and then, there are just so many episodes of Murder, She Wrote, and now it's like I haven't seen, like, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I'm a season behind on Game of Thrones, because other stuff, I guess.
Like 2 episodes of Game of Thrones ever, and and I blame Murder, She Wrote, because I've been watching that and catching up on that.
But it also helped your friend not die after a concussion, so worth it. You owe it.
Totally worth it.
After the umbrella incident, that's out of a movie. That's probably on a Murder, She Wrote episode. Someone gets killed by a falling umbrella, and then someone had loosened the screw or something.
We were on a New England coast. We were up at a beach in Connecticut, so...
There you go.
There was a murder attempt on your friend's life. You need to look into this. All right. Is there anything else you guys have before we move on to the game portion?
No, my last note, I don't even really fully remember what it was, but just the still frame with a bunch of heart eye emojis. Because class, I have to always mention this still frame.
It's just her smiling. Yeah, it was a great still frame because... Like, Seth made a joke. I love how they're always able to make jokes right after all these things.
Oh, about show business? How he doesn't want to give up show business?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because she's like, yeah, don't worry, you won't have to do it next year. And he's like,
When he's, like, putting on his pilgrim hat.
Putting on his pilgrim hat, because he obviously had to take on a role now that the judge died.
Yes.
Like, he wasn't in it before, and he's probably just, like, so happy. Like, now he has a part to do.
Yeah, someone died, someone was arrested, like, but we'll definitely, someone... and one of them was arrested. One of them was arrested temporarily. We're definitely not going to put this community play on hold, though.
Yeah, exactly.
That's definitely not something that's going to happen.
No, of course not. That would be ridiculous.
And I love how this thing was. It was literally like, was there 20 chairs to see this play?
There were a couple pew benches, like
there's some stadium seating, and by that I mean like two rows up.
Yeah.
It was it was perfect. All right, guys, are you ready to play some games?
Yes.
I think so.
Okay, we have a guest, so you guys know it's always more fun to play when there's stakes. So we asked Caroline to pick a charity to play for, and she chose the Breast Cancer Research Foundation.
Great charity.
Which I looked it up just to be sure. In case you've never heard of it, in case you're an idiot and have never heard of it. But it's got an A+ on Charity Watch. It's 4 out of 4 stars on Charity Navigator.
Yeah.
It's doing legit business, you guys.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's hope you get some answers right.
For everyone you get wrong, I will be.
There goes right into research, which is a huge and important thing.
Yes.
Exactly.
So if you guys do want to donate yourselves, you can go to bcrfcure.org.
Yes. Perfect.
Okay, and for everyone you get wrong, I'll be punching Marissa in the boob. So
yes.
Just,
it's all bad anyway. I can't feel it. Go ahead.
Okay, so we've got a couple games. We're gonna start with one that's Halloween related, since this is our Halloween episode.
Yes.
Happy Halloween, FYI. I don't think we said it up top.
No.
We're talking about witches. It's Halloween. You get it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start with this one, and then you'll get to choose. We have a couple other ones for you to choose from. But this first one is it's called Trick or Treat. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you the name of a horror movie, and you're going to tell me, is it rotten or fresh according to Rotten Tomatoes? And there is $5 for each correct answer. And if you can tell me the exact percentage, if you guess the exact percentage right,
we'll
give you $20.
So, and like the fresh is 60% rating and up.
Okay.
And then,
rotten
59%.
Down.
So we'll go through these first 5 here. All you got to tell me, is it a trick or is it a treat? AKA, is it rotten or is it fresh?
Okay.
Are we ready? Okay. And did you watch? You can play. Yeah, you didn't see anything, right? You didn't cheat. Because I wouldn't want to give unnecessary money to breast cancer research. I wouldn't want to get cheated, and I will shut this whole thing down right now.
No, I have A, I have the worst eyes. B, I can't even focus on you're turning the paper very much.
And now I'm very much turning the paper.
Like a kid in class,
Caroline will be able to read it before you will. So.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The first one, The Blair Witch Project.
Oh.
A trick or a treat?
I think it's a trick.
I would agree.
It is a treat.
Oh, what's the percentage?
Do you want to guess? So it's fresh.
Okay.
So between 60 and I'll let you guys guess, and if one of you gets it right, we'll give you the 5.
I'll guess 69.
I guess 85.
Oh my God, so close. 86.
Oh,
so close.
No.
That was so close. So, okay.
I can't believe that's. I've never
I'm
seen it.
I'm surprised it was.
But I thought there was like so much hype about it.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would actually pan out to like a good rating.
Yeah. If that movie came out today, it would be, everybody would hate it.
Wait, it is coming out again.
Well,
yeah,
and everybody hates it.
Yeah.
But if it came out, like if this exact movie came out, because it started that whole found footage thing, and legit, like my brother.
Shakiness.
Yeah, my brother went to the thing. He was like, we all thought it was a documentary, that they found this, that it was legit found footage, and he's like, it's the scariest thing. These hikers
So naive.
Looking at so naive, and that's why, because it was like this weird event thing.
And there was like barely, I feel like
there was no press for it, so you didn't know.
And like people on the internet, they're like, I don't even, what's the internet? It was like, did this
And the
exist?
internet was like just kind of
so
starting.
So you couldn't just Google Blair Witch Project, just like, wait, what is?
And it was just this, and it was like all these no-name actors you'd never heard of, so you didn't.
Can you imagine if they actually put like some found footage of victims like out on the big screen?
Exactly, like
I would be at every fucking movie.
Yeah.
Carolyn should have told us. It's like, they're not putting someone's death
Yeah.
on a big screen. That's not happening. Okay, we were real dumb in the late '90s, you guys. We were real dumb.
Yeah,
I can't believe that rated that high, though.
I know.
I'm surprised. Again, I just think
that was a trick, then.
It's a product of its time. It's a product of its
really
time.
Is.
It really is.
Well, we'll have to take the timing into consideration now.
Okay,
Yeah.
So now the next one, Halloween, not the original, the Rob Zombie remake.
Oh.
Is it a trick or is it a treat?
The remake?
The remake. Written and directed by Robert Zombie.
I'm gonna say trick.
I was gonna say trick too.
It is a trick.
Phew.
Do you want to guess the percentage so you can get a little bonies?
Okay, I'm gonna guess 35.
I'm gonna guess 50.
It is 25.
Ooh.
It's very low. It's not.
I thought I was lowballing it with 32.
Yeah. People did not care for it. Okay, the next one. A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. Is it a trick or is it a treat?
Oh.
I'd say trick.
I mean, I feel like because it's number 4, like you'd think it's gonna be bad, so you'd say trick, but I feel like maybe that one was good, so treat.
It is a trick.
Damn, I know, it's like, it's so tricky, and then I'm like, well, then there's also a large following of these, so you never know, because people...
See, I feel like, I'm like, in my mind, like, oh, everybody knows, like, these 80s slasher movies, because, like, I was so into them, like, like, everybody knows these, right? Yeah. Like, I don't take into account that, like, no, people don't know, like, the fourth one in this
but, like,
fucking
I didn't
series.
know that the Scream franchise, like, I actually thought, like, the last couple Screams, the last, like, Scream 3 and Scream 4, weren't bad. They were, like,
oh, totally.
You know? Yeah, like, I actually thought, I think, like, Scream 4, I remember being like, this was pretty good, and kind of hating myself for saying that, but it was good, so that's why I thought maybe.
I've seen it more than once, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's also a scary movie. It's a classic, so it, like, you're not expecting, you know, too much.
Do you want to guess the percentage?
Okay, it was a trick.
So 60%, or 59% rather, and below.
I'm going to say 45.
I was going to say 47.
It is 56. It was up there. It was almost fresh.
It was almost a fresh one.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one. The next one is from this year. The Conjuring 2. Is it a trick or is it a treat?
Well, the last couple have been tricks, so I feel like it has to be a treat.
Trick.
But...
Definitely trick.
Trick? Oh.
No, it's her. It's not
okay.
me.
It's a treat.
No! I'm awful at this.
I'm just doing, like, when I'm taking, like, a Scantron test, it's like, okay, well, we had a couple C's in a row. Guess I'm going to do an A. Like,
yeah.
Let's see. Because again, the
People
Conjuring.
really like the Conjuring.
The first Conjuring is the reason I won't go to scary movies anymore because it scared me too much. It's the last scary movie I saw.
Ben's a baby.
I am a total baby.
I saw Conjuring. And
I've never seen it. Yeah, I think Steven watched part of it with his dad, and he's like you. He can't watch scary movies, and yeah.
Are those the same as the ones that then had like the spin-offs, like with the Annabelle doll?
Yeah. Yeah, is that the one with Vincent?
Because I saw the Annabelle doll one.
Oh.
Because this one like
scary. It was just stupid. It was awful, actually.
Yeah.
Well, when they're doing like a remake of or like a spin-off of a...
Because, in The Conjuring, the Annabelle doll is like possessed and is already like a thing.
Right.
The Annabelle movie like shows how it became possessed, and people hated that. But like The Conjuring, both of them, The Conjuring 2, like people love. And like it's super creepy. If I liked a scary movie, I would recommend it. But I
didn't see it though because I'm into scary movies.
I can watch a slasher movie, but like a Conjuring, Insidious stuff, can't do it.
You're more scared of demons than like a home burglar.
Like a Babadook, can't.
Yeah, no. See, I'm not scared of things like that. I'm more scared of like more real things. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm like, give me a fucking demon, give me some shit. I don't care.
Oh, no.
Have someone come in, break through the house, and like with an axe? No.
No, see, I feel like I'm the exact opposite. Where I feel like someone comes in with an axe, I got a chance.
Because
I can
you're
fight.
A man.
Maybe that's what it is. Like
it is.
I've got a fighting chance.
Like
I'm 6'2". I've got some heft to me.
Yeah.
Like I've got like I keep my Kill Bill's replica sword in the bedroom. Like I have a chance. Like I can go take this. Like I have a fighting chance. Like a demon comes in here, I'm fucked. I don't know what to do.
But the thing is, demons don't exist, and real people do.
Right. The chances of a demon breaking into my house is like pretty slim. But like a dude with an axe, like
home burglaries and happen all the fucking time. People get murdered in their homes. So Ben,
I don't know.
Rethink your little thing. You're from Montana. You just are like no fear of your property.
That's what. Yeah, I was literally sitting in the office preparing this game, and like Rotten Tomatoes had a list of like the best horror movies, and they had a picture from the Babadook, and I was like, this is terrifying.
What is Babadook?
What is a Babadook? You keep saying it's heard, but
it's a recent. It's like 2 years ago. It's this big. It's like one of the best horror movies ever made. Like people lose their shit.
I'm gonna look it up.
It's on Netflix, or it was. My boyfriend watched it on Netflix. Said it was great.
I feel like you're saying something from like
Yeah.
Like It's a Small World, or like what's the Splash
No, it
Mountain?
sounds like in the 80s there was this like Disney movie, and that like, did you ever see that train wreck? It's like
No.
it's another Pilgrim Ghost, Mr. Boogedy.
Oh my god.
Made for TV
Pilgrim
movie
Ghost.
that like haunted my dreams because my parents let me watch this like Disney Sunday night movie.
Yeah, it's.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Look how terrifying that is. She's looking up the bottom. Look how that, like, basically that picture right there.
It says a troubled widow discovers that her son is telling the truth about a monster that entered their home through the pages of a children's book. I mean, children kind of scare me when they talk to ghosts because I kind of believe that. But it's black and white.
Yeah, it's fucking terrifying.
I mean, it's.
Well, no, that's the. That's the picture. Show her like the real life, like that one. Like,
okay.
That's the picture I kept seeing at work, and I was like.
Okay, yeah, I'm uncomfortable.
Is it Japanese?
The bottom.
Japanese
I don't
makes
think.
scary.
No, I think it's just all white people.
Oh well.
Anyway.
No, but for
really
serious, look up Mr. Boogedy, the Disney thing.
Mr.
Look at
Boogedy.
like what this was made for children.
How do you spell boogedy?
I don't know, like Boogedy, maybe.
That'd be my guess. Yeah, that'd be my
Girl,
guess.
you nailed it on the head, Mr. Boogedy.
Let's see.
Oh.
Like, oh hell no, right?
Yeah, he looks like a.
No, it's like a Freddy Krueger thing.
It's like a Freddy Krueger mixed with the Emperor, or what is it from Star Wars?
From the Emperor, from Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mixed with a burn victim. Yeah, so
That's not cool for kids. No.
For kids, it was amazing.
Get out.
TV children's movie. It was like one of their Sunday night Disney movies, and
Yeah, there's the website I clicked on. It's like most terrifying Disney villain ever? Question mark. Like, yeah, without a fucking. He even has a lightsaber almost.
Okay, this is we see where you're coming from. Disney.
that just kind of like ruined me for like years. Like I was just haunted by and again, like I grew up in Boston, so it was like, you know, there were pilgrim statues, and the ghost comes out of a statue.
Oh my god.
Statue. So for like years, like I'd just be like walking and I'd see a pilgrim statue and I was like, oh my god, no!
It's coming for me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, we have to watch it.
Mr.
Add
Boogedy.
it to the list of shit I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one is Freddy versus Jason. Trick or treat.
Original?
There's only been one.
Oh.
Freddy versus Jason.
I don't know. The other ones have like 7 bed. I don't know.
This is Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy versus Friday the 13th, Jason. This is the crossover to end all crossovers.
I think that one's gonna be. Oh, I think that's a trick.
It is a trick.
Good.
Yay!
Do you want to guess the percentage on that bad boy?
30.
Like 22.
41.
Oh.
I don't know why that's wrong. That's a good movie.
I figured, I was like, well, it's the first one. People have been waiting for this, but
yeah,
I don't know my shit.
Okay, for the next 5, we're going to switch it up. I'm going to give you 2 movies, and you're going to tell me which is the trick and which is the treat. Just which one got the higher rating.
Okay.
Some of them are both rotten, some of them are both fresh. You're just going to tell me which one the critics liked better.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. The first one is The Fly, the David Cronenberg remake with Jeff Goldblum. The Fly or The Evil Dead?
Never heard of The Fly, so I'm going to say The Evil Dead. I don't know.
I mean, Jeff Goldblum's pretty solid. Like
that's true.
He brings up any production, but I think The Evil Dead because it's more of a classic.
It is The Evil Dead.
Oh.
Yay! The Fly got 91% and The Evil Dead got 95%.
Damn. Okay.
The Fly, if you've never seen The Fly, the David Cronenberg God, that's a good movie.
Oh. I really need to keep an Excel sheet here.
You do.
Yeah.
On my sick days, just watch it.
Okay. The next one, John Carpenter's Halloween, the original, because we covered the remake.
Okay.
Or The Exorcist.
Oh. I think The Exorcist would have rated higher.
No, it's Halloween.
Oh, really?
Oh my god.
I was surprised by that too, but I mean, Halloween's fucking amazing.
I know, but like, I just remember like how big of, I don't remember because I wasn't alive, but like how big The Exorcist was, and like people standing around lines and throwing up in theaters and having seizures. Like, it's a joke now if you watch it, but what were the ratings?
I'll tell you, Halloween was 92%. Do you want to guess what The Exorcist was?
91.
Like 80 something?
87.
87?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Like,
they're close.
Yeah. It should be higher. I feel like The Exorcist should have been higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
The Exorcist is like, that's another one that's just like a solid horror movie
classic. Yeah.
It's so good. Like, yeah, whenever you watch it, like, it's just got like a It's really good.
It's also really funny if you watch it. I think
Yeah.
also because of all the hype, my mom was like, "Oh my god, it was so scary." Like back in the day, I'm sure it was scary.
That's the thing. Like, my mom did the same thing, and I watched it, and I was like, yeah, like at the end, like the last like 10 minutes when they're in the room with her, it's a little creepy, but the build-up is.
No, like
But the
her like
rest is,
fake
like,
head spinning and like having sex with a crucifix. I'm like,
Oh, that
okay.
that was grim. Why are you showing that to children? That scene alone is
I don't
like,
think children are supposed to see it.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't
my
think
mom showed it to me when I was way too young.
And that's why you're gay.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
saw her, you know, like, fuck me, Jesus, like, shoving it into her. Like, what she was like, fucks me in my twat, and like, she was just, I was like, I'm 8. What is happening?
Yeah, no. Oh my god. My mom always told me I couldn't watch it, and so when I went and lived in France for a while, they're like, "What do you want to see?" I'm like, The Exorcist.
Did you cock your head like that?
Oh,
The
of course.
Exorcist?
I've always been
they
creepy.
probably like brought in a priest for you.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, while she's watching this, you just stand behind her and throw holy water on
Yeah.
her and say some prayers. Thanks.
Amazing.
Okay, the next one we have Saw or Sleepaway Camp.
Saw.
Oh, definitely Saw
Is the treat?
Treat.
is the treat.
If you tell me no,
No.
what the
That's...
fuck is Sleepaway Camp?
Oh, you
What?
don't know Sleepaway Camp?
No, I've never heard. I didn't even know that's a movie.
I didn't either. That's why I was like, Saw. They made 7 of them.
I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of want to tell you the hook of, because Sleepaway Camp basically had, like, the reveal was like the why people liked it. Because, okay, I'll tell you what, like, the opening scene is this dude and his kids, boating accident. We learn that the dad and the son are killed. And so the daughter, like, doesn't talk anymore, and she goes to this sleepaway camp, and murders start happening at the camp, trying to figure out who it is. Turns out the daughter is the one who's doing the killing, and then the last scene is just her, like, holding a severed head, and it pans out, and she's naked, and it pans out. Turns out she's the son, and she has a dick. Oh, what? And that's literally, like, the last scene. It's... So it's like, it's...
And that has a better rating than Saw?
Saw, which I think is like a genius horror movie. Do you want to guess what it got? It is rotten. Do you want to guess?
Rotten?
It's rotten. Yeah, shocking.
Oh.
Do you want to guess what it?
The Saw,
40?
maybe like, did it get like 50?
40?
Very close. 48. You were both. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my god.
How that and sleep.
That's like genius, and it was like.
It's so for how little they did. Like I thought
Yeah.
it was perfect.
And it's so scary, and it plays on so many fears, and also.
and that guy from The Princess Bride, like, seeing him
Yes.
be a creeper.
Having to saw off his own goddamn leg. My
And
God.
Yeah.
oh my god, and they I was reading about it because I used to be obsessed with the Saw series, and then it got too much for me. But they would actually research online, and some of those torture things actually existed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like online, and were soul play. So I was like, see, the realness adds an element to me.
Yeah.
It was But that movie, that first one was so good.
Wanna play a game?
But yeah, Sleepaway Camp got 83%.
Because of a little girl with a dick?
Basically.
Boring.
If you can go watch that final scene. Watch the opening scene and the final scene. You do not need to watch anything in the middle.
Okay.
I probably won't do any of that, but.
Okay.
Right. I think the visual of a naked child holding a severed head with a little penis, I think I got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not like a little child. She's like a teenager, but still.
It's like it.
But still.
No wonder it got such high ratings. All these pervs behind the computer
Yeah.
like, yes,
That's-
yes.
Okay, the next one. 2 more to go. Second to last one. A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, or Halloween 2? Which one's the trick? Which one's the
I
treat?
think Halloween 2 is a treat, but I don't know. It's
I'm
up
going
to
to
you, girl.
go with the Freddy, the Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Is the treat?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Oh,
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
I think I was going based off the other one. Didn't the other Freddy versus Jason do really badly? Or am I just making
Freddy versus Jason got 41%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, last one.
Oh, boy.
Friday the 13th, the original, or A Nightmare on Elm Street, the original.
Oh, boy.
And I will tell you, one is rotten and one is fresh.
Oh. That's a huge... Okay.
Yeah.
Which one was Johnny Depp in?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
But I feel like... I don't know. I think probably Nightmare on Elm Street, because although Friday the 13th is also...
They're both like the most staple like horror
Yeah.
movies I could ever think of, so I can't.
Classic. It's Halloween night, and I'm gonna watch a movie.
If I had to guess, I would be like, okay, they're both fresh, both like 2%. So the fact that you tell me one's rotten, I don't know.
I'm gonna go with my first instinct and go with the Freddy Krueger Nightmare on Elm Street.
That is correct.
Woo!
Yay!
Finish strong.
Finish strong. I was hoping.
That was harder. I mean, that was easier than the first game. It's a hard game trying. What? Rotten Tomatoes, dude.
Yeah.
That's I like the Rotten Tomatoes game.
Yeah, they're good.
Let's see. Do you want to guess? I'll tell you. Friday the 13th was 58%, which AKA starred Betsy Palmer as Jason's mom, who was in like an episode of Murder She Wrote that we watched like last month.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
which one?
It was the one where she was part of the condo board. She was part of the condo 3.
Oh, the condo 3.
Yeah, she was the woman from the
Condo
condo
3.
3 who was like putting the moves on that young reporter.
Right.
Oh,
But
the
he was
one
eating
pretending
butter.
to be drunk.
Yeah, he was eating butter so he didn't get drunk.
Yes.
'cause
Okay,
that's
it's all
real
coming
life.
back to me now.
Yeah, is that a thing, by the way?
There's no way. Have we put that episode? Yeah, and people like we asked like, is that a thing? No one's gotten back to us.
Of
but
course, it's not a thing.
of course
I've
it's
been
not a thing.
drinking too long, and I know that's not a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we move on to the next game, do you want to guess Nightmare on Elm Street what its Rotten Tomato rating was? It is the fresh one.
82.
74.
It got 94%.
Shut the fuck up.
Right?
Oh.
Isn't that
Wait, is that the highest one on there? No, there's one that was 96.
No, that's the highest one. There's one that was
Wow.
92.
Wow.
It's rated better than John Carpenter's Halloween, which is
Yeah, that's okay. Well,
I mean,
guess
it's
need
a
to go
great
watch
movie. Like,
yeah,
don't get me
Nightmare on
wrong.
Elm Street.
Like, it's one of
Yeah.
the great slashers, but it's like it's better than Halloween. I don't know.
Also, it's like kids dreaming, right?
Yeah,
Boring.
I mean, Freddy Krueger is kind of there's.
it's so iconic. Though.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that sweater,
He's
just like
still
everything.
scary from
So,
this day.
Mhm.
you know.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I will let you choose for your next game. We have 3 games that we can play. I'll let you choose which one you want to play.
Okay.
We have a variation on the Doug Benson IMDb game, where I will give you the movies from an actor's IMDb page, the new movies they're known for, and I will list them one at a time until you can tell me who that actor or actress is.
Okay.
Okay.
We have that one. We can play Noun Verb Murder, where I give you a description of a Murder She Wrote episode, and then I'll give you three titles, and you just have to tell me which one is the actual title. One is correct, the other 2 I made up.
Oh boy.
Or we can play 6 Degrees of Angela Lansbury, where we'll connect, it's like 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon only with Angela Lansbury, and we'll just connect through movies only. We'll connect Angela Lansbury to someone in this, like someone connected to this episode, like 9 to 5, like Missy was on this episode, so we connect that Angela Lansbury to like Lily Tomlin, Dabney Coleman, something like that. So which one sounds...
Well, considering you used up the one actress I would have been able to identify from this episode.
Yeah.
No, you can use her like, yeah, we'd start at 9 to 5. That's fine. If you want to do like...
I have no idea.
Marissa will be... I'll play too, but again, we tried this before. We're bad
So you're on your own.
I don't know. For fun, I'll do the second one. I'll do the titles of the episodes.
Okay. Noun, verb, murder.
I feel like this is a bump risk, and I'm just screwing over my amazing character.
I think this is not the easiest, but it's also the most fun game.
Yeah.
Because it's hard because Ben comes up with really good titles, but it's like so funny. And you've seen enough Murder She Wrote, like it might like strike with you.
I might do okay. All right.
Okay.
Let's do this.
All right. Number 1. Gary and Larry's frozen stuff accountant is found dead. Shortly thereafter, $750,000 earmarked for Jessica's literacy fund is found missing. It's up to Jessica to find the killer.
Okay.
Is this episode called On Frozen Pond, Frozen Stiff, or simply Frozen?
Frozen Stiff.
B.
Frozen Stiff is correct.
Oh!
Yeah.
All right. Next episode, keep the momentum going.
Yes.
Jessica records one of her novels for the blind, and while at the recording studio, can't just record an audiobook. It's got to be for the blind because it's
Right.
Jessica. Anyway.
Because she's J.B. Fletcher.
Because she's J.B. Fletcher. Jessica records one of her novels for the blind, and while at the recording studio, Jessica is invited to a taping of a rock video. When a murder happens during the taping, Jessica tries to find the murderer. Is this episode called Murder on Tape, Death is Blind, or The Sound of Murder?
Oh, no. I know this episode. I think it's Death is Blind. Is it? No.
I was gonna say C.
It is C.
Oh, okay.
I'll give because I'll give it to you.
Okay.
I just like that the sound of music, the sound of
Well,
murder.
that's why
I
I was
just
like,
thought
Yeah.
it's almost too good.
they love a
but-
punny. They love a punny title. I
Yes.
love it. I
And
absolutely
I
love it.
appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah.
The next one. Jessica takes a teaching position in New York, gets an apartment, and finds its previous tenant murdered.
Fucking, of course.
Yeah.
Is this episode entitled "Bite the Big Apple"?
It's Bite the Big Apple. It's Bite the Big Apple. I know.
Oh
this.
wow! Yeah, no. Oh, killed
What
it.
were the other titles, just out of curiosity?
Big Apple Rot, or Death in the Apple's Core.
Ooh, Ben, those are
That
good
last
ones.
one was good. I was proud of that last one.
Yeah,
Oh,
those
God.
are good. Those are good. If I didn't know any better, I would have gotten tricked there. But
Yeah,
I
would've
definitely
hoped
know
it
the
was
episode
B.
that she moves to New York is Bite the Big Apple.
This is the
That's
season
amazing.
8, the season 8 premiere where she
Yeah.
leaves Cabot Cove and goes to New York.
Oh my
All right, we're 3 for 3. 2 more to go.
Yes.
2 more to go.
Hey.
A playwright haunted by his wife's suicide loses another family member to murder.
That's sad.
Is this episode called Angel of Death, An Angel Among Us, or Trod the Bloody Boards?
Oh, I have no clue.
I think it's Angel of Death.
It is Angel of Death.
Yes.
I was
Batting.
worried. I was worried.
Yeah, that one was the trick. That was tricky.
Yeah.
I thought adding the question mark would throw people off, so I was like, question mark? An Angel Among Us, question mark? Because
Yeah.
it's like, it kind of sounds like
Well,
this one,
I'm
like he's
worried
haunted
because
by his
I know
wife.
there's an episode like called Harbinger of Death, so I wasn't
Mhm.
sure.
I totally would have picked B.
Yeah.
For the question.
Well, good
mark.
thing you're not.
I would have, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, last one. Let's go
Okay.
5-5.
Okay.
I feel it. Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Jessica jaunts to Paris at the beckon of an old friend whose fashion boutique is in financial trouble. When a local loan shark is murdered, Jessica must dig deep to find the truth. Is this episode called...
Wait, I think I've seen this.
I think I know this.
Is it called Step Turn Murder? I think I've used this episode too. Anyway, is it called Step Turn Murder, A Fashionable Way to Die, or Death Walks the Runway?
Oh.
I'd probably say B, but I'm not.
I think-
I'm not ruining the streak.
No. I know. I want to get 5 for 5.
Ugh.
See, in my mind, when you started describing it, I was like, oh, it's Dress to Kill. Like, I just made up a title, but that wasn't the point.
Why isn't that one of the ones I made up? That's perfect.
God.
Yeah,
There probably is another. I'm almost certain there's another episode called Dress to Kill.
Well,
I think
that's
they
like
just
a
used
show
it.
of something. Wait, will you reread them?
yeah,
again?
reread them.
Okay. Step Turn Murder, A Fashionable Way to Die, or Death Walks the Runway.
Oh.
I think A Fashionable Way to Die.
That's what you said too, right?
Yeah.
And that is correct.
Woo!
5 for 5.
That's amazing.
That was great.
Yeah.
I actually think that I've seen this episode because I was trying to introduce it to like my mom and sister. Like my mom has seen it before, but they kind of lost interest halfway, and I think I just kept on. But it's been so long, I didn't remember the title. It's a good one though.
Do you want to play one more just for fun? Just for
Sure.
funsies?
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll play just because this one is from, I'm using movies. So what I did with this one is the IMDb game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you the top 4 things from an actor/actress's IMDb, and you're going to tell me that actor. And there are 2 actors and then you're going to tell me the common movie that they were in that was one of the top 10 movies of 1992.
Oh boy.
It sounds more complicated.
Yeah, got it.
Well, yeah.
We'll go along, but you'll get it. So I'm going to start naming a movie from an actor or actress, and you tell me who this is.
Okay.
Once you know who it is. The first movie, Beetlejuice.
Winona Ryder.
No. Any guesses?
Catherine O'Hara.
No. Good guess, though. I like that. The next one, Thelma and Louise.
Gina Davis.
Yes, Gina Davis.
Yay!
I haven't seen either of those movies.
Oh boy. Okay. The next actor, or the next list of movies, or do you want to guess the other two in her top four?
I don't know.
Oh, Gina Davis.
Yeah, you don't know who she is, so you're.
Yeah.
You don't know who she is?
Well, maybe if I saw a picture.
My father, for years, would get her confused with Julia Roberts. So, like, I was watching, like, a Julia Roberts movie, and he came into the room, and he was like, oh, she looked better in A League of Their Own. And I was like, not the same person, Dad.
I know who she is, but I don't know how I know her.
She was on Will and Grace.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've also seen all the pictures of Thelma and Louise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know her from something.
Was one of the other Gina Davis movies the top four? Was it Earth Girls Are Easy?
No.
Ah.
Well, I will say, as a clue, it's been mentioned. We've mentioned it on this very show.
Also, never mind.
I mean, you're on Google, so you're kind of cheating.
No, I'm not, because I'm not going to guess.
What's
because I didn't know who she was.
A Gina Davis movie that we mentioned? A League of Their Own? I just said it. Yeah.
It is not. That is not in. How is that not in her top four?
I don't know, because when I
Googled it,
it was.
Yeah, that's IMDb, whatever crazy thing they use to determine their top four. How A League of Their Own is not in there.
I would have said A League of Their Own.
Is insane to me. I'll tell you, the last one is Stuart Little, because no one, why is Stuart Little?
Yeah, I didn't even...
Why is Stuart Little there in League of Their Own?
That's probably how I know her. Is she the mom in Stuart Little?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. We mentioned it in this show. Like, what else was she in?
She was in, it was,
Wait, what have you said so far?
On the list of games, it was in our list, our horror movies, is one of our horror movies. I think it was one of the ones neither one of you had seen, so I won't drag this out. It was The Fly. She was in The Fly with Jeff Goldblum.
She dated Jeff Goldblum.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, plot thickens.
That's
okay.
where he was also in Earth Girls Are Easy. Now.
I haven't seen that movie in forever. That was...
Me neither.
Jim Carrey, is he in that one?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen that in forever. That's some In Living Color. That was those dudes.
It is one of the best 80s movies. Period. I mean, it's a musical, and it's sci-fi, and it's rom-com, and you don't know what you're watching at all, but it's wonderful.
I mean, even the name.
It's got a great title.
Yeah.
All right, the next one. The first movie on this actor or actress's top 10 is The Da Vinci Code.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Yes.
Whoa.
Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Can you name the other three movies in his top four?
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump is number 2.
Big.
Toy Story.
No Big. No Toy Story.
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
The Money Pit?
Yeah. Okay, Tom Hanks.
IMDb pulls some shit.
Oh, Castaway?
No.
Oh.
We haven't mentioned it, so I...
Wait, we've gone 2 so far. A hint?
The Man with One Red Shoe?
No.
I'm just saying things. Oh, yeah, Sleepless in Seattle.
No.
What? You've Got Mail?
No. I would love it if You've Got Mail was over Sleepless in Seattle. I think that'd be hilarious. I will say one was directed by Steven Spielberg.
Oh, wait. I know this, but I don't because it's not coming out. Steven Spielberg, Tom Hanks. I'm embarrassing myself because I feel like
I feel like I should know this.
Yeah.
WW2.
Pearl.
Saving Private.
Yes.
Saving Private Ryan.
I should let you get it out. Saving
Private Ryan.
No, but she was saying I was like, oh my god, I'm about to embarrass myself by saying Saving Private. Oh god, just stop right there. Okay. Phew. I've only seen a part of that in history class, and so didn't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Cool. History class. Awesome. Great schooling in Southern California.
Yeah, I did. You went to the O.J. Simpson trial in like 5th grade, so
Yeah, I
I don't
did.
know what you're talking
Well,
about.
how
We
was
watched
the
that
verdict?
too on TV.
Yeah, the verdict in the OJ. Of course you did, because like you were a human who was alive then.
Right. Yeah.
So of course you did.
Yeah.
Okay. Last one is the Green Mile. I don't even know any clues. Like,
the most
who
depressing
never would've-
movie I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I
you never-
named like every Tom Hanks movie and couldn't come up with those. Like I was just, well, of course the ones I was naming are like Joe versus the volcano and shit. But
still, like, I feel like it should be over the Green Mile.
yeah,
I don't know, but Green Mile I've blocked out because I watched that too young and it really scarred me. Oof, God.
Okay.
Anyway.
So now we have named Gina Davis and Tom Hanks. What movie were they in together that was one of the top 10 movies of
League of Their Own.
1992? A League of Their Own.
Yes, it all comes back
It
together.
all comes back.
I'm so excited that I finally could say League of Their Own and get it right.
Yes.
I was just going to answer that to everyone until I got it right.
That's fantastic.
All right, well, that's
That was
it.
a good game.
That's
a good
it,
game.
you guys. That's,
That is a good game.
Yay.
Yes.
We'll let Carolyn do her plugs. Let me just do ours real quick. Follow us on the social medias, Murder We Spoke, Twitter, Instagram, at Murder We Spoke, on all those. Thank you to Devin Kokersberger for doing our theme song, our super awesome trap mix theme song.
Trap.
Is that what it's called? I don't know.
I think so, yeah.
I'm not a
because you couldn't
I'm
figure it out last
I'm an
time.
old. I don't even know what it is anyway. I just like the song. I don't know what it is. But that's it. What do you got to plug, Caroline?
Just follow me on Twitter at Carolyn Paine, and Instagram, Paine. Just follow me. If you follow me on Twitter, you can see where I'm doing some stand-up gigs coming up, mostly just on the East Coast right now. Hopefully I'll make it out to LA soon. So yeah, stalk me down. Come and see me. Talk about Murder, She Wrote with me.
Yes. Guess you gotta go to the East Coast then.
Yes. We're in.
Yeah.
We're in.
Yeah.
We're hopping on a plane.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The next episode we don't have picked out yet, so you guys follow us
on Twitter.
We dropped this one a little early for Halloween, but we'll have a next one coming out very soon. So follow us on the social medias, and we'll let you know which one to watch to get ready for the next episode. Caroline, thank you so much. This was the most fun.
I know. It was perfect. I love that you actually loved Murder, She Wrote.
This
it
was
worked out
so
perfectly.
great. Yeah, this was awesome. Thank you for reaching out.
Yeah,
This
it was fun to finally talk about the show with people who aren't, in a nursing home.
That's amazing.
But, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.